Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Aquarius for the month of June 2024. While I'm shuffling the cards, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also like and share this video if it resonates with you. And I would love to hear your stories and your feedback. So leave it in the comment section. Let's see, what do we have for Aquarius for the month of June 2024? Okay. Minerva with beliefs. Beautiful. Wow. Kuan Yin with compassion. Very interesting. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I think we'll have enough space. Five of Cups. Six of Swords. Justice. And the King of Wands. Okay. The Eight of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. The Three of Pentacles. And the Judgment card as the last card. Wow. Super powerful. Okay. Tradition with resurrection, truth, sincerity, and clear path. Visions, synchronicities, confirmation, and exploration. Power, magic, life, energy, and manifestation. And the last card we have is Smoke, purification, union, community, and protection. Okay. Interesting. So this month I am diving a little bit deeper into the mythology in all of these decks, especially the Mythic Tarot, which is based in the Western tradition and Greek mythology, and the Sacred India Tarot, which is based, of course, in the Indian mythology. So, as I'm diving a little bit deeper on these, the particular myths that are in these cards today, just give me a moment so that I can meditate a little bit on each one of those. Okay, so very complex reading, and let's start with the first card that came out, Minerva, with beliefs. Now, Minerva, her name is also the root of the word mind. So she is here representing how you think and how your mind has created a certain value system for you to navigate. And of course, Aquarius, your mind is of the utmost importance for you. It's a sign, traditional characteristic of the Aquarius native. And I think that this is the theme of the reading. The whole reading is about how you think and how in June you are arriving at a turning point. And with compassion here, and Kuan Yin comes with this sudden burst of love. And it's a love that's transcendent, that is a spiritual love. For me, this is about expanding your horizons in a way that kind of blows your belief system into a whole different level. So I think that it's also important to note that we have two owls here. And this is Athena, the goddess of justice, but also a goddess of war. And the King of Wands here is also a character that is very much connected to war and to kind of turbulence. He's the figure of King Theseus of Athens, and he is in the Golden Fleece mythology. He's connected to a lot of turbulence and a little bit of has a little bit of a chaotic temperament. He even married an Amazon woman who was a warrior, and she fought wars beside him. And after he lost her, he went on to become a pirate. So it's quite the character that you have here. And I think that it's also speaks to the unconventionality of Aquarius, with maybe finding a new way of being yourself that is more attuned, that is more just, that is fair. This is discerning, and this is kind of balancing your many possibilities. And it's very interesting because it's the center of the reading, and the main theme is the mind, and then you end with judgment. It's also a card of course traditionally associated with a discernment, but also a discernment that comes from the world, so like being judged by your actions in general, and more of a karmic card, of course, but we'll get to that. I think that you're coming to this situation because I believe that you will find yourself too focused on details, and maybe even being kind of how do I say, it's not petty, but it's kind of too focused on very small details and small issues. Because here, this Knight of Pentacles, it's the image of Aristeus, and he was the son of Apollo by a mortal woman called Kyrene. And he was a person who was a character who was connected to nature. He had this very humble approach to even the smallest form of life. That's why you have the bees here in the background. But it's to me here, and because there's a sort of a departure into a different stage, I believe that you have reasons to maybe stop focusing so much on the details, and also out of respect for maybe parts of yourself that you hadn't really understood yet. And I think that you're coming to this understanding also because of this Five of Cups here. The Five of Cups portrays the aftermath of Psyche's betrayal of Eros. And this is the part of a relationship that is disappointing, that makes you feel lack. But there's still a cup standing, right? There's still a chance. There's still hope. But at the same time, this is the part of the natural cycle and life of a relationship, where we see things about the other that are not pleasing to us. And maybe you are also seeing this about yourself, because although we have Kuan Yin here, and she is of course also a very loving energy, and it's also about the other, because she is the one who hears the pleas of everyone, who hears the cries and extends her hand to the other. I think that because we have Minerva, we start with your own mind. I really think like this is a kind of like a movie that is unfolding in your mind, and your mind is so important to you right now, that it's truly creating your life. And I think you're kind of realizing how much of your manifestation powers and how you are idealizing things, right? So now that you are, I think you are departing from that situation of feeling disappointed, and not only disappointed with others, but also with yourself, and with maybe focusing too much on the small details. Because here we have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords portrays Orestes, and he is moving away from a turbulent situation into a calmer water, right, as he is approaching the city. And this suggests that now your mind is ready to understand something more, something, there's an insight, right? And there's a dignity here on going or moving forward. It's something that is elevating you, that is making you step forward and step up in your life. So that being said, I also think that your self-esteem is going to get a boost these days. And it's really nice because it feels like it's something that isn't external to you. It's something that comes from within. It's something that you know you can create with your own mind. It's like you know you can create your own self-esteem. You know you can create your own story. You can write your own story. And you can rewrite your own story. You can reframe the suffering. You can reframe the disappointments. And you can see and understand things differently. Yeah. And so this is going to also prepare you for new adventures, because I really feel like these two cards combined are really like inciting you to a new adventure, a new story. And I also think that this is what's happening here in the second part. So just give me a little moment so that I can focus on this deck. Okay, truly deep reading. And I also think that it's important to note that this reading, I don't think it will just stick to June. The energy of this is really big, so I think it's something that is ongoing and that needs to be addressed, and it's coming to the surface, but it's something that will, be extending its energy a little bit longer. Maybe I'll get a little bit more information about the time frame, but let's start with the end, the last card, Judgment. This card is representing Pralaya, and Pralaya is the dissolution. It's a complete and total rebirth of the psyche. And this is the Judgment Day, like Armageddon, right? So this is something that is kind of inevitable, but at the same time, I feel like it's something that you're facing willingly, which is highly dignified here. It's highly, it's a noble. It's like choosing the noble path, the righteous path, and the liberating path. So this is really good, like in a spiritual sense. It's a very auspicious time for you, because I feel like you are discovering a whole new level of doing things and manifesting what you want, because I think you are understanding some sort of rule, like a spiritual rule that you're understanding. You're changing your mind about a lot of issues, a lot of things about yourself. But then in the end, I think it will manifest in even your beliefs about society, your beliefs about the world, and even about reality, how matter exists, how things become what they are, and personalities, and because there's this deeper view into the world. So after that we have the Eight of Arrows, and the Eight of Arrows here is represented by Bhishma offering his life to Krishna. And this is, of course, a warring card. And it's, how do I say this? There's a crisis, right? There's a war. There are factions, and there can be like restrictions that come from outside that put some pressure. And I even think that because you change what is inside, you start seeing the pressure after, right? You start seeing how it clashes with the outside. So I think that you are going to have a little bit of it's not really a reality check, but it's like facing the traction, like facing the force of others, and it will maybe slow things down a little bit, because something has to be resolved first. There's this kind of, it was a pending subject. There's something pending, something that you need to address, I feel here. And after that, we have the Queen of Discs. And the Queen of Discs is represented by Hariti. Hariti is the wife of Kubera, the god of abundance, of material wealth, of wealth. And she is known to be an ambiguous character. She used to plague, she does. She plagues children until they're 6 with the illnesses, with like challenges. And then after, but if they survive all those challenges, they are blessed with her protection forever. So I also feel like maybe these two cards the combined, they're telling me that after you face some sort of challenge, I think you will find friends where you once found foes. So after you change your mindset, you change something in yourself, you see a whole new dimension about yourself. You start expressing yourself, and you start a new adventure of your own being. And you will find, because of that, you will find resistance, and you will find friends in strange places even. Yeah, I don't know why I said places, but like there's some sort of unpredictable, like a good surprise here. And here we have Parvati watering the trees with the 7 of Cups. And the 7 of Cups is traditionally a card about choosing and having thinking about what's the best, what makes you feel better. And it can be also a card about illusions. But it's important to note that this specific card with Parvati, she was performing tapas, which is an austerity, discipline, in order to purify her own being or to prove the purity of her intent. So she was meditating and watering the trees, feeding the deer. And this could be demonstrating that there's some sort of ritual. To me, there's a ritual here that maybe it would be good for you to discover. And I say this because we also have here the visions card with synchronicities, confirmation, and exploration. We have the smoke with the purification, union, community, protection, and also the power with the magic, life, energy. And I think that, and also the tradition, of course, because if you follow a tradition, you will find that maybe you thought that you will find enemies there, and you will find friends, which will further confirm that you are on the right path, that this adventure is the right adventure for you. And after you feel like you are more of a part of that community and you're more protected, there will be also a need for some sort of ritualistic purification, some sort of tapasya, some sort of discipline, of maybe even kriya yoga or similar. Kriya yoga is a set of purification. It's not rituals, but it's practices, I would say. And they have to do with purification of the body and of all the energetic bodies. And you can check it out online if you're not, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But I think that this is also appealing to some sort of life knowledge. And of course, this deck is very suggestive of yoga, but it's not necessarily the practice that fits you or your life and your spirituality. And of course, this is just a way of expressing these concepts. You can fast, and fasting is something that is done in many religions, and or not religions, but just spiritual paths. So there's work here, and the Three of Pentacles, of course, is traditionally associated with work. And this Three of Discs is specifically associated with Prince Siddhartha, with the Buddha story. Of course, the whole Pentacle deck is associated with the Buddha story. And this card is describing the 4 sights. So it's the times when Prince Siddhartha went out of his palace and saw the suffering and the grief and the pain. And the 4th time he went out was the time when he saw a very serene and calm sage. So someone who was wise, a wise man, who has come to terms with the world's suffering. And this is when he is aware of what he has to do, of what is his destiny, is entelechy, as maybe some of you are familiar with Terence McKenna's work, and he used to talk about entelechy many times. And this is how he understands how to be in the right place, how to cooperate, how to manifest, right? And this is a materialistic approach, also a very pragmatic approach. So although there is an overall theme of spirituality and mind, and there's a lot of kind of ethereal quality to this reading. I feel like this is the point where you will understand that you have to do something very specific and very, I would love to know what it is exactly. And if I would just read these cards right now and try to, yeah, I would say that you have to study and you have to work on some sort of physical tradition, a physical activity. There's something new that you have to include in your life that will kind of purify you, and it will make things so much clearer. It can be diet, it can be something that you add to your life, or something that you subtract. But I feel like there's a clear understanding of what that is this month. And yeah, I think that is the message. Like, focus on what you have to do to bring this understanding into other parts of your life. It's a great spiritual reading, really. It's very, very powerful. This change is going to feel like very, very, it's like on the structural level for you. And it's also nice because I think you're finding a community because of this. There's many people around you that are also going to help you with this, and that are doing that will guide the way, and it will change your whole perspective on society, on life, and even on how people relate, how people, friendships, relationships, family, everything will be different, will feel different for you. It's very magical and synchronistic, so be aware of the signs. Be don't be paranoid, but be pragmatic. But be aware that when you start feeling that things are kind of aligning, that's the place to be. When you feel like you are really your ideas and the way you kind of challenged yourself before, when you see that come into fruition and be materialized, that's when you know that you have to go on to a stage where it's not mental anymore and it's practical. It's something that you have to do with your body and that you feel like in your body. Wow. Beautiful reading, loved it, inspiring as always. Thank you so much for this. And if you also like this video, please hit the like button. I hope you enjoyed my temporary tattoos. I chose the sign of Aquarius, of course, so for inspiration. So yeah, please like the video if you also like this, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye.